Police brutality. It can affect anyone at any time, anywhere. Not all police officers are like this, but it happens too often to so many innocent people. What is your opinion on police brutality?
I think that police brutality is wrong, and I do think that we should have measures in place that take care of police brutality before it becomes police brutality.
Okay. Um, what racist and biased elements do you think police brutality have?
I think that anything can be taken out of context. So if you do have a situation where there is a white officer and a black victim or suspect, that it could be taken out of context if the whole video or interaction is not necessarily recorded or properly evaluated.
Okay. What specific type of people do you think is more affected by police brutality?
I think police brutality could be a state of mind. Not necessarily everyone is a victim of police brutality, and not every situation where a police has to use violence or force in order to subdue a subject necessarily is police brutality. And that's why I go back to there should be certain procedures that they should be able to go through or record in order for that to be objectively determined.
Okay, and last question. What if police officers wore body cameras? Do you think that would help?
I think in situations where their use of force is being questioned, then cameras would help, yes.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Police brutality is when innocent people are harassed by police officers. Officers can use force, but some overdo it. They can hit, shove, or other. We understand they want us to be safe, but with peaceful protesters and assumptions, it could lead to violently serving justice. What is your opinion on police brutality?
My personal opinion is that it's obviously it's not good. I don't really have any personal exposure to it here in our community. We have a very good police department and sheriff's department, so we don't run into those issues that I've ever seen. I think globally it's an issue in different areas, but I don't know enough about it or what goes on down there to speak to it. But if people are using excessive force, I think it's definitely something that needs to be corrected.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The second question is, what racist and biased elements do you think police brutality have?
Racist and bias. Everybody, I think the first thing you have to understand is that everybody, regardless of their race, has developed their own bias in their own head, and that's based on experiences that they've encountered and gone through in their life. So whether or not you're considered racist or not, you're still going to have bias towards things. It's just that's what makes you a person. What makes you an individual is your experiences and how you feel about certain things. I think that people in certain communities that have gone through or been exposed to unfair policing or whatever type of unfair justice that they may have been exposed to is going to create a different bias for them. And I think on the same side of that police officers who are exposed to different criminal behaviors and different elements of our job are going to have a different bias or opinion towards things. Whether that affects their ability to do their job the right way, I can't speak to. And it's not something that I personally deal with. But I don't think that anybody should do their job based off of a racial bias or prejudice towards anybody. I think that everyone should be treated the same. And if you commit a crime, then you have consequences.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
The third question is, what specific type of people do you think is more affected by police brutality?
What specific type of people? I don't know that it's necessarily a type of people. I think that sometimes, and what we've learned over the years, is that lack of training and lack of education and lack of proper vetting. And I don't know if you know what vetting means, but basically, when somebody applies for a job, making sure that they go through the proper channels to make sure that they're qualified for that position, so that the right people are doing the right jobs. And I think that if you aren't the right person for the job, you shouldn't be hired to do it. And so I don't know, not like a general area that is specifically affected by it, but I think that places where those rigorous standards aren't applied tend to see it more often. That's just my opinion, and I don't know, that's not fact based, so I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay. And in conclusion, we believe that police brutality is wrong and there needs to be measures in place to prevent it from becoming worse.